But what I would personally suggest is if it's your first time ever tripping, get shrooms, like magical mushrooms. Because my thing is, you can Google shrooms and you can get a pretty much good gist of how they look. They're usually white, dried out, maybe a little bit of green on them. Yeah, that's fungus. You usually don't want no green on them. But anyways, they're supposed to look white. Supposed to look like white, dried out mushrooms. And like, see, that's a good thing about mushrooms. No one can really fake making mushrooms. Like, you ain't gonna get no what's the word, synthetic mushrooms. Like, you know you're getting the real shit. That's why I really like mushrooms. That's why I like tend to mess with mushrooms when I do want to hallucinate. So yeah, I would suggest mushrooms. And the dosage of how much you should take, I hear about people taking 1 gram. I hear about people taking half an eighth and an eighth. Those are really the three things people take. My thing with a gram, I feel like a gram is just a tease. You might get a little bit of visuals, maybe a little bit of like mental hallucinations, but nothing really like that serious. But what I have done before is a half eighth. A half eighth is at that good level where you get some visuals and you get the mental. Like, it's a good, honestly, probably if I had to be honest, that's what I'm gonna suggest for your first time. But what I did with my first time is I did a whole eighth, man. Like, my thing is go hard to go home. If you want to trip and you want to trip, like, see what tripping is, see stuff that's not there, hear stuff that's not there. That's what I would honestly recommend is a whole eighth of them. But one thing is, you need to really go into the right mindset. Like, you gotta make sure you're freaking stoked. You better, like, I can't fucking wait to eat these mushrooms. Like, you're like fucking, I don't know, man. I was gonna try thinking of some funny shit, man, like jacking off before you take them just because you want time to go by fast. I don't know, man. But you want to be freaking excited. You don't want to be nervous. Do not be nervous, because that's the thing. Like, I've known a lot of people who took mushrooms and they're so nervous and they're like, oh, it's just ever going to quit? Am I ever going to be normal again? Oh, what if I have a bad trip? You're going to have a bad trip if you're like that. But if you're excited, you're going to have a good trip. Like, my first time ever, I was super excited, had a great trip. And I still love them because every time I do them, I get excited. I work myself up in the right way, but you can also work yourself up in the wrong way. And I also have been around people who thought they would never quit tripping. I know we've all been in high school, and they would always tell some story about little old Susie who took 3 hits of acid one night, and she thinks she's a teapot. And every time you lean her over, she thinks she's spilling fucking milk or whatever. That is not going to happen. That has never happened. There's no recorded history of someone tripping and never quit tripping. Just know it will end. That's the thing. Like, if you're going through a bad trip, honestly, I feel like it makes me stronger if I go through a bad trip. But if you're going through a bad trip, just know it will end. But if worst comes to worst, take that Klonopin, take that Valium, take that Xanax. Just know it will be over. And another thing is, don't worry about fucking overdosing. Like, honestly, if you're taking mushrooms, you literally be full. Like, the feeling you get after you eat, I don't know, fucking 2 cheeseburgers, how you feel full and you can't eat no more. First of all, I don't suggest you full up on mushrooms your first time ever tripping, or ever. Don't get full of mushrooms. But if you do, you won't die, because literally you need more mushrooms than you can eat at a one sitting to overdose. So you ain't gotta worry about that.